The chosen one, something unseen, is moving after hours. You felt it, not fear, but a stirring in your spirit. An invisible presence walking the streets, waiting to see who's still outside the hedge of divine protection. This is not a superstition. It's a spiritual command. You're being warned ahead of time. Not everyone is. Open quote. Before we dive into this revelation, stop and take these 3 steps. 1. Like this video so the message gets to others who need the same warning. 2. Comment the number 11. This is not just the hour. It's the code heaven is watching for tonight. 3. Subscribe now to join the 144,000 chosen ones across the earth. And only the chosen will stay to the end of this message, because something invisible is walking tonight, and it's not sent by God. Close quote. This hour, after 11 o'clock, has always been spiritually active. In the Bible, it's known as the night watch, when angelic and demonic activity peaks. Open quote. Evening, morning, and at noon I will pray and cry aloud, and he shall hear my voice. Psalm 55:17. Close quote. But notice, evening comes first. It's not a passive time. It's a battleground. For the chosen ones, this night is not just a normal evening. Something has shifted in the spiritual realm. A wave of surveillance spirits has been released, not to attack, but to scan hearts, to expose movement, to test alertness. And here's the truth. If you're outside the covering, even a chosen vessel can be marked. So don't treat this casually. After 11 p.m. tonight, the Spirit is separating those who obey from those who assume they're safe by default. There's no default safety. There's only obedience. You may feel a strange urge to go outside, take a call, open a window. Resist it. That's not your intuition. That's a spirit calling you out of the hedge. You're not meant to follow it. Open quote, the prudent sees danger and hides himself, but the simple go on and suffer for it. Proverbs 27:12, close quote. This message is not about paranoia. It's about alignment. There are territorial spirits moving tonight. And they don't knock on doors. They whisper, they lure, they observe. And if you're found in the wrong place at the wrong time, even by accident, something in the spirit can be stolen from you. Let this be clear. Tonight is not random. It's part of a divine timeline. A gate of testing is opening, and it always begins with a simple instruction. Don't go out after 11. Will you obey it? The ones who do will feel a stillness settle in their home tonight. The ones who don't may not even realize what they've lost until days later when confusion, delay, or sudden fear enters without explanation. Because some things don't knock. They enter through access. Stay in, stay hidden, stay covered. The night watch has begun. The chosen one, when the hour passes and the world gets quieter, your spirit becomes more exposed. You may think it's just the silence of midnight, but in the spiritual realm, silence doesn't mean stillness. It often means something is watching. There are battles that don't involve loud voices or flashing signs. They happen invisibly, in decisions made in the dark, in footsteps taken when no one is watching, in the simple choice to obey or ignore an instruction from above. Open quote. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds success in store for the upright. He is a shield to those whose walk is blameless. Proverbs 2:6-7, close quote. The shield mentioned here is conditional. It's for those whose walk is blameless. That doesn't mean perfect. It means obedient. It means discerning when a voice inside says, don't go there. Don't open that. Don't step out tonight. And yes, tonight is one of those nights. Some people mock spiritual boundaries. They say, it's just another Friday, or it's just my street. But that's how deception works. It makes danger feel familiar. And while others are desensitized to the hour, the chosen are awakened by it. Have you noticed how your body feels more sensitive lately after dark? A sudden chill near the doorway, a flicker of emotion before sleep, a stirring like someone is near when you know the room is empty. These are not coincidences. They are checkpoints. After 11 p.m., there are certain doors, physical and spiritual, that should not be opened. Every time you step outside, you're not just crossing a physical threshold. You're exposing your energy to the unseen, the unspoken, the monitoring realm. You may not see them, but they can sense authority, and they can also sense defiance. This is why tonight is critical. You are being watched not by people, but by the system of spirits that record obedience. It's not about judgment, it's about assignment. Because the ones who obey tonight, who stay in, who heed the call, will be set apart for something greater. This moment isn't punishment, it's positioning. Open quote. He who dwells in the secret the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. Psalm 91:1, close quote. That secret place isn't a temple or a field, it's the place of obedience. Tonight, your obedience becomes your covering. The shadow of the Almighty doesn't follow noise. It falls on the one who dwells, who remains in stillness, in silence, in surrender. The chosen are not loud tonight. They are listening. They are hidden. And the ones who listen will be the ones protected. The chosen one, even now as the hour draws near, something in the atmosphere is shifting. Not everyone can sense it, but your spirit does. That's why you're here. That's why this message found you before midnight. Because heaven is preparing to close the gate for the night, and only those who are inside the covering will sleep in peace. The spiritual world operates in patterns, watches, seasons, timings. After 11 p.m., there's a window where angelic movement decreases, and testing spirits are released to roam, not to attack, but to observe, to report, to see who is positioned where they shouldn't be. This is not fear, it's clarity. And clarity is protection. Open quote. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, walks about like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Close quote. Understand this. The enemy doesn't devour everyone. He devours the available. That's why this message isn't for the crowd. It's for the called. Those who feel the nudge when the Spirit says, stay inside. Don't answer that. Don't open the window. Don't step into the dark tonight. This is the kind of obedience that sets apart the faithful from the familiar. Many people claim to walk with God in the daylight, but the true ones are revealed after dark. Tonight is not like other nights. The heavens are testing spiritual reflexes, not your ability to pray long, but your ability to obey fast, instantly, quietly, without needing explanation. Because in the hours when most people are asleep, destinies are either protected or delayed. You won't always know what could have happened if you disobeyed, but trust this, obedience has already blocked it. Open quote. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade on your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. Psalm 121, 5-6, close quote. That's the covenant over you, day and night. But it's activated by posture. You must choose to dwell under that shade. So tonight, after 11 p.m., stay in. Let your house be still. Let your voice be low. Let your spirit be open to hear, even if nothing seems to happen. Because in the silence, heaven is taking note. And while others walk into the night unaware, you are being marked as one who heard and obeyed. You're not being hidden from something. You're being hidden for something. The test is passed. The gate is sealed. Now rest under the shadow of the Almighty, the chosen one. Now that the hour has passed, you're still here. That alone says something. Not just about your obedience, but about your awareness. You're not like the rest. You don't brush off spiritual warnings. You don't ignore the tug in your chest when God is speaking in silence. What you did tonight may seem small to others. You stayed in. You didn't step out. You didn't explain it. You didn't argue with the warning. But in the Spirit, it echoed louder than 1,000 prayers spoken without obedience. Open quote. To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. 1 Samuel 15:22, close quote. While others were chasing what felt right, you responded to what was divinely right. And heaven noticed. Something was allowed to pass by tonight. A spirit of confusion, of premature loss, of relational sabotage. It was permitted to knock in certain places, not to destroy, but to record responses. But it didn't touch your house, not because you were strong, but because you were still. Not because you fought, but because you trusted the voice that whispered, stay in. The aftermath of obedience is not always instant. It may take days, sometimes weeks, before you see what God blocked by keeping you still tonight. But you will know. You will look back and say, that night was a turning point. I didn't even realize it then. Open quote. Surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. Psalm 91:3, close quote. This is your portion now, not just safety, but revelation. God is about to reveal something to you in the coming days. You passed the test of stillness. Now comes the reward of insight. Watch for it. It might come through a dream. It might come through a closed door you didn't expect. It might come through a person suddenly leaving or a new voice entering. But make no mistake, tonight shifted something. You were counted among those who listen, even when the world sleeps. You were found alert, though you appeared at rest. You were marked, not for destruction, but for distinction. The covering remains. The gate is sealed, and heaven whispers over you now. Well done, my hidden one. I will speak again soon. The chosen one. There's one more thing heaven wants you to know. Your obedience tonight didn't just protect you. It shifted your position in the Spirit. While others moved without discernment, you waited. While others trusted their routine, you trusted the whisper. And in doing so, you crossed into a new category, from being watched to being entrusted. Open quote. His master said to him, "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over a little. I will set you over much." Matthew 25, verse 21, close quote. That little was tonight. A single instruction, don't go out. A simple moment, stay in place. A silent test, will you heed the whisper even when nothing seems urgent, and you passed it? That's what separates the called from the chosen. Not talent, not titles, but timing. Sensitivity, willingness to obey before the explanation comes. Faith without fireworks. Tonight, you demonstrated spiritual maturity. And because of that, a scroll has been opened concerning your next assignment. Something that was delayed is now being revisited. Something that was on hold is about to reappear. But this time, you'll be ready, because your soul has learned how to stand still without fear. The protection you felt tonight, it wasn't just to hide you. It was to preserve the vessel that's about to carry more. And yes, there will be more tests. Yes, the next instruction might be even quieter, even stranger, even more inconvenient. But now, heaven knows, you're listening. And because you listened tonight, the door for prophetic clarity has been opened wider. So in the next few days, pay attention to repeated dreams, journal impressions that hit suddenly. Notice when the atmosphere shifts during prayer. You are no longer just walking through spiritual terrain. You're being trained to steward it. This is how prophets are forged. This is how messengers are marked. Not by crowds or signs, but by what they do when no one else is watching, after 11 p.m. when the spirit world is most awake. You stayed in, and because of that, something sacred is about to be sent out. Through you. Now rest. Heaven saw you, and it is pleased. The chosen one, tonight will be remembered in heaven, not for its noise, but for its silence, because silence is where the faithful are revealed. No spotlight, no audience, no confirmation. Just you, a quiet hour, and a decision no one else will understand. And now, because you obeyed without needing proof, you've gained something many never will, spiritual credibility. Open quote. The secret of the Lord is with those who fear him, and he will show them his covenant. Psalm 25:14, close quote. That word secret doesn't mean a riddle. It means access. And tonight, your access was upgraded. Not because you prayed louder, not because you fasted longer, but because you heard a whisper and responded with stillness. This is the posture heaven can build with. This is the heart that angels protect with priority. There's something you need to understand now. Obedience at night carries a different weight. When you say yes in daylight, everyone sees it. But when you obey in the dark, when no one would blame you for stepping out, for answering that text, for going along with what felt harmless, that's when your rank in the spirit changes. You've been moved into a different camp, from watching to governing, from receiving to discerning. Open quote. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. Matthew 24:42, close quote. You've just proven you are a watcher, not of trends, not of people, but of time, divine time. So what's next? Heaven will begin to reveal to you what others miss. You'll sense atmospheres shift before they do. You'll feel danger before it manifests. You'll know when to speak, when to stay quiet, when to move, and when to remain hidden. Because this wasn't about just one night. It was a spiritual graduation. Your name has been whispered among angels. Not to be celebrated, but to be assigned. A new level of responsibility is coming. But so is a deeper covering, a clarity that doesn't need signs, a peace that doesn't fear storms. So tonight, as the world sleeps and the clocks roll past midnight, know this: you've been counted. Not just as a believer, but as one who obeys in the dark. And from this moment forward, your feet will move with more authority. Your prayers will carry more weight. And your silence will speak louder in the spirit than most voices ever will. Heaven is watching, but now it's also trusting. The chosen one, the gate is closed. Heaven has recorded what it needed to see. What began as a quiet instruction, don't go out after 11, was not about fear. It was about alignment. It was a divine sorting, a spiritual census, a test that required no explanation, only response. And you responded, not just with stillness, but with honor, not just with obedience, but with reverence. You didn't question why, you recognized the voice. And that is everything. Open quote, my sheep listen to my voice. I know them and they follow me. John 10:27, close quote. That's the verse heaven just placed beside your name, because tonight you didn't follow logic, you followed voice. And now, a record has been sealed. There are things you'll never have to fight for again. Access that will open without resistance. Delays that would have lingered are now being removed. Spiritual weights are being lifted from your bloodline, not just your back. All because one person, you, chose to be still when the Spirit said, wait. You didn't need fireworks. You didn't wait for confirmation. You just said yes. That's rare. That's holy. That's dangerous to the kingdom of darkness. So don't expect things to feel the same after tonight. Something in you has been recalibrated. Your discernment has been tuned. Your name in the Spirit now carries a different echo. From now on, when you walk into a room, the atmosphere will respond. Not because you're loud, but because you're aligned. This is what happens when a soul says yes in silence. The heavens move, and the earth follows. So rest now, not just your body, but your mind. There is no need to overthink what happened tonight. The choice was simple. The obedience was clear. And the result is eternal. The gate is closed. You are sealed. And the next word is coming soon. In dreams, in timing, in divine encounters. Heaven will speak again. And you'll recognize the whisper, because you already obeyed it when it mattered most.